Hey, Live Casinos, Sports and Social, and Pressbox have teamed up for the best fantasy football draft experience in town. Book your league draft today. $20 per person includes your first beer and your first gourmet hot dog. And I think that number is important because some places will just say, hey, here's what it's going to cost. It's going to cost $500. And you're going to be like, well, for all of us? Yeah, but that doesn't matter if 8 of you are showing up or if 14 of you are in the league. With this, it's just $20 per person. However many people are in your league, and however many of them can make it out. And the great news is, if folks can't make it out, they've got great Wi-Fi at Sports and Social for all of those that'll be drafting remotely. Then add in that every commissioner and every team will get special prizes and promo items, including a championship ring. That's cool, man.
It is.
It's just cool. And also, they're going to take care of your draft board for the draft. Plus, they got the 100-foot media wall right there inside Sports and Social. So as we keep telling you, like they're playing college football on Saturday, got a big college football weekend ahead next weekend. Those seem like good times to be inside Sports and Social for your fantasy football draft. $20 per person, first beer, first hot dog included. Go to Open Table, search Sports and Social Maryland to make your reservation. Well, the PLL playoffs get underway this weekend. This one's a bit of a haul before the championship comes back a little bit closer. This one's out in Minnesota. Joining us now here on GCR, he a Terp, he a Whipsnake. He's a rock star. He's an all-star. He's one of the best defenders in all of lacrosse. The great Ajax Zappitello is with us now here on GCR. Ajax, it's Glenn. It's great to catch up again, man. Thank you so much for taking the time for us.
Yeah, thanks for having me back. It's been a while, but definitely excited to catch up with you guys again.
It's great to chat with you, dude. All right, let's deal with it. All right. What happened down the stretch? Like, what was going on? And I know that like there were some real heartbreakers in there, like some almost biblical types of things late in games that ended to it. But I know that this is the beauty of the playoffs. It's a new season. You're in. What happened? How do you move on from it? How do you get better from having gone through some of the tough stuff that you guys went through down the stretch of the regular season?
Yeah, no doubt. I don't think it's a secret to anybody that we've been kind of on a losing streak here, and definitely some unfortunate ones that, even in my long career playing lacrosse, haven't really encountered. And so it's been a learning process. I think, if you're going to go about it the right way, that's how you got to kind of approach it. But yeah, we're just excited to be in the postseason, right? Like not every team gets to this point in the year. We're lucky that we did enough to put ourselves in this spot. And now the biggest thing is just, can we finish the job? As you kind of mentioned, right? It's now the second season. Let's just win one game in advance from here on out. And the biggest thing that we can do is just learn from those opportunities that we faced. The really nice thing heading into the playoffs is we feel like we've kind of seen it all this season, and so we definitely feel prepared and trying to use that as a learning experience as we get going into the quarterfinals here.
Do you feel like having the off week, like, look, I got to be honest, Ajax, I hate that you guys have an off week at the end of it, right? Because we're not back into NFL season. We don't got college football. I'm like, I just want to watch some games, man. Like, I hate it. But do you feel like for you guys, everything you've been through, maybe just separating a little bit, digesting, breathing, that might have been beneficial for getting back in that right mindset?
Yeah, no doubt. I think, anytime you're able to kind of take a step back, gain perspective, you can dial in a little bit more to yourself as a player, as opposed to necessarily scouting for another team right away with a quick turnaround. I do think there are a lot of benefits to it. The other thing that I think is really nice is, we've kind of been banged up this season, just like every other team has. So kind of allowing some guys to take a break and get their bodies right, their minds right, before we make a big time playoff push here coming up this week.
You can you walk me through like scoring a 2-pointer earlier in the summer? Like I don't know if a lot of people had that on their bingo card, my man.
Yeah, no, I definitely don't think I did either. And I definitely know Coach Staggs didn't. But yeah, it's kind of funky opportunities. Obviously, that's something that we talked about in the beginning of the year, just wanting to be aggressive in that early offense transition. We got some really talented poles and defenders who can kind of handle the ball. And you saw it from Matt Dunn a number of times, and guys like Jack McDonald last season. And so just that ability to push an early offense, and one of the rare times I'm down at that end, I'm going to make the most of it. Obviously lined up pretty well that I get a time and room hands-free step down. It's not going to happen every time like that, but just lucky the
It,
ball went in.
what are the, so Ajax Zappitello is with us here on GCR. What are the rules? Are they personal rules for you about when you pull the trigger? Are there team rules? Like, you know better than anyone. There's the most electric play in sports is a pole goal. Like, everyone knows that. Like, there's nothing that fires the boys up. I mean, a goalie goal is ridiculous too, but a lot of those are scored on open nets. Like, what are the rules for you? What are the rules for the team about when you pull the trigger?
Yeah, I think those have kind of changed throughout the season. I think at the beginning of the year, right after I scored that goal, it was like, okay, you got the green light, and then took a couple shots throughout the season, and they weren't necessarily, I don't think, great shots at times. And so Coach Staggs has definitely put me more in a red light, yellow light kind of mindset when I get down there. And so now just happy to try to set up some of the really good offensive players that we have in other ways, like going and setting a pick and trying to switch a matchup and
Yeah.
not necessarily being the one that shoots it. But yeah, no, it kind of is dependent based on the personnel that we got. But like I said, we got some really talented defensive guys that can definitely pursue that offensive mindset a little bit
Look,
more.
everybody knows you're one of the biggest badasses in all of lacrosse, but like, what I think that a lot of guys like that, and the number of times that I've talked to defend, there's a lot of defenders who would just say, "Dude, I got to be honest with you, I'm kind of hoping that I get caught out there. Like, I'm kind of hoping that it's not easy for me to get off." Like, are you maybe selfishly sometimes like not wanting to look back to the box, like not wanting to find out? Is there a part of you that's just like, dude, give me that chance. I want to go down and help in any way I can down the other field?
Yeah, no, I think even at my times at Maryland, I was getting a little bright-eyed when I was ever able to step over midline, and Coach Tillman had to kind of rein me back, and kind of similar thing going on with Coach Staggs, just wanting to get our offensive guys the ball. I will say that the big thing is you just got to be a little bit more selective, just because the shot clock is much quicker in the PLL. So obviously can't be spending all day down there not producing offense when you only got 32 or 52 seconds
I,
to put the ball in the
it is a
back of the
lot
net.
different than
So
college in that way. Like,
yeah.
for those that aren't watching week to week, the other thing for me too, Ajax, is I call college games all season, and then I kind of like just get used to it. And then the first time I watch you guys, I'm like, I just forget how fast the game really is, like how insanely quick the game is at the PLL level. The one a couple weeks ago that you heaved at the end of the half,
Yeah.
did you think you were getting that one?
Honestly, that was probably just a really lucky play. I heard
Okay.
it ring pipe, and then kind of looked down like, did that go in? And saw the coaches looking at the iPad. And obviously trust those guys in their judgment. But yeah, that would have been pretty cool, especially in that environment and atmosphere. Big
Yeah,
time game. But the Boston crowd was awesome.
boy, what an electric atmosphere that really was up there at Harvard that weekend. Ajax, any connective tissue? I know it's weird in the PLL because you guys aren't spent. It's not like a lot of sports where you're spending every day together. You guys go back, you go your own ways. But I know that you've got group chats and messages. Is there any connective tissue from what happened late in the season? Was there any singular message about this is that if we can just do this differently, we know we won a bunch of games early on in the year. Like, we know we can do it. Was there anything like that that you guys were talking about?
Yeah, honestly, we're super active with our group chats. We kind of refer to them as accountability group chats, just making sure everybody's doing their work, putting the time in during the week so that we can be successful on the weekend and put ourselves in spots to be successful. And honestly, not a whole lot's changed. We definitely feel like we're doing a lot of the things at a really high level. Coach Staggs was talking last week, you know, earlier in the season doing things 75% right throughout the game, and now closing that gap. And, we feel like we're knocking on that 90 percentile. And so honestly, like if anything, the group chat just got more active, and guys are, obviously doing their work and putting in the time. I don't think a whole lot of that is changing. But I think we're just trying to make it fun again, right? Like obviously we get to do this. We're super fortunate that we get to travel the world and play lacrosse in some really cool spots with some really awesome guys in our locker room. And so I think the biggest thing is just making sure we're having a fun time while doing that. And we've definitely done that within our group chat, keeping it light, but also making sure that we're focused and locked in throughout the week as well.
You, of course, mentioned Boston. Obviously, you guys get another shot, right? And I imagine, for those that don't know, that was the biblical of the biblical. Like that's the one that the way the game ended. You've seen a lot of things, you might not see it again. Is there a part of you that like maybe you're glad it's Boston, right? Like after that battle that you guys had just a couple of weeks ago, for it to have ended the way that it ended, is there a part of you that's like, you know what? Yeah, let me at them. Let me have another shot at these dudes.
Yeah, 100%. I think you ask anybody on our team, they're saying that without any hesitation. Rarely in life do you get a second chance, and especially with this quick turnaround, we don't have to wait, 8 weeks later to play these guys. It's only a few short weeks after we played them up in Boston. So I know myself and everybody else in the Whipsnakes locker room is equally as excited to get after and play these guys again, and just be able to have another weekend with each other, suiting up and wearing the Whipsnake colors.
We praise the crowd at Harvard. I guess you can't really praise much related to Harvard anymore. Tell me about the gig. Tell me about for you what it means to be coaching at a really high level, obviously in the Ivy League now.
Yeah, feel super fortunate that I'm able to come back to Dartmouth as a defensive coordinator now. And what brought me up here was my younger brother Hopper, who
Yeah.
was on the team, and he just graduated. And so it'll be interesting to see how it goes without him up here, just because he introduced me to this place, and all I've ever known is a Dartmouth with my little brother. So it'll be a cool new challenge ahead. But yeah, super fortunate. I think a big part of this is because I've had some awesome mentors and coaches in my life. Obviously, as a young lacrosse player, starting out in Oregon, all the way to my college days with Coach Tillman, who's one of, if not the greatest head coach of all time, and then obviously Jesse Bernhardt as well, staying in touch with him constantly, and then even now in the pros, Coach Staggs, and obviously Coach Kerwin giving me this opportunity. So I just feel so fortunate that I've been able to be in a place that one cares so much about lacrosse, but has provided me with such an awesome opportunity. And then, it's obviously really cool to be able to be around guys and coach them up and teach them a lot of what I learned when I was their age, and try to help them be as successful as possible, not just on the field, but obviously off the field as well.
How was the dynamic with your brother? Like, was he still trying to mess with you and fight with you, or like, did you have to be like, dude, that's Coach Zappitello, please get it right?
No, he was great. I mean, we have such a close relationship. It's just the two of us. And so, it's funny. Like I think the only two people that were more fired up about me and my brother being in the same spot than us were my parents.
Yeah.
They came to everything, which was really cool, and still do. But no, honestly, he was probably a little too uptight. He was calling me Coach Zap and everything like that. And I had to tell him, like, dude, I'm your brother. You can call me Ajax. It's a little weird if you're calling me Coach Zap, but he's awesome. He
I
was
would
such a
want to
great
see
leader.
as an older brother. I would want to wield it over him. I would absolutely have to be like, yeah,
Yeah.
you better make sure it's Coach Zapp. You better make sure that's what you're calling me.
Yeah, no, not too much. It was nice to be able to send him to the line and make him do some running whenever I felt
That's
like it.
great.
But he was always great about it.
That's great. The Whipsnakes will be in the second of the two quarterfinals this Saturday out in Minnesota, 8:30 on ESPN Plus as they take on the Boston Cannons, trying to move on in the PLL playoffs. Ajax, anything in particular that we can plug for you? I know you're not like a big social media guy, right?
Yeah, no, all good.
Hey man, great to catch up with you. I'm rooting for you to get another 2-pointer. I don't care what Coach Staggs says. I want you ripping. I want you pulling the trigger this weekend and helping the Whipsnakes on in the playoffs. Appreciate you, brother. Rooting for you. Thank you for taking the time for us, man.
Thanks so much for having me. Appreciate you guys, and good to catch up and see you guys again.
Let's talk soon, dude. Ajax Zappitello.